June. We are 1 month away from Canada Day. As per evolving custom, we'll run another tournament for that next episode, next event. And we now have a large enough roster to run a 6-tag title tournament, which requires a minimum 24 wrestlers, 8 teams of 3, and we have 27 total. So I'm tempted to be rather liberal with resting guys this event in preparation for all hands on deck for the upcoming Canada Day Spectacular version 3. I'd rather not have anyone in poor health for that, but it would mean 10 guys would sit out this event without any serious ailment, which seems needless. And so I'm just going to run a regular event now in June, and Canada Day in July will be a month for risking injury for the sake of making the tournament memorable and monumental. So for this event, the only sit out will be Big Titan. As you can see there on the right, in this profile, condition poor. But he's been on a hell of a run lately. I'd say he's deserving of rest. So there will be no defense of Canada's heavyweight championship. But there will be defenses of 5 other titles, including a new one. Exciting stuff. And we begin with the DFW Dramatic Fight Wrestling Tag Team Championship. Whoops. Hold on. Okay. I accidentally removed the champions there. As the 2 members of Sharpshooter Syndicate that are Canadian, the Hitman and the Canadian Sensation will defend against Team Green. This iteration being the Missing Link and Ace Matt Gibson. So we have a study in contrast here. As 2 of the participants in this match requested pay raises. The Missing Link and the Canadian Sensation. So as you see there, the Missing Link under salary with raise is now making what is still a pretty paltry sum of $802 per month, while the Canadian Sensation, middle right there, salary over $12,000 a month, a massive salary. So their salaries could hardly be more extremely opposite. It makes you wonder, does the Missing Link even understand money? No idea. He's crazy. That might explain why he doesn't demand much. Match 2. Your Dramatic Fight Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the Baron Charles, will defend against Vampiro. As Vampiro gets his first crack at a singles title here in the Canada Wrestling promotion. Match 3. Here we go. For the Junior Tag Team Championship of Canada. The first ever. So, redemption? Finally? Perhaps? Coming off of what fans are calling Miracle May. Christian accomplished the unthinkable, defeating the irredeemable Shota for Canada's Junior Championship. Something perhaps even more unthinkable has happened. These two have formed a tag team. As you may have noticed, somewhere along the line, we never have crowned junior tag champs. Now that was chiefly owing to a not very numerous division. But if you've been keeping count, we now have 4 juniors. So we can make 2 teams of 2 to finally crown Canada's Junior Tag Team Champions. So we have it there, Christian and Shota. They will face Mexico Miguel and Type B for Big Man Complex. So how I decided on these teams. So if we go back, check out these two. So it would seem that Christian has finally redeemed the irredeemable Shota and turned him onto the morally correct path. And they have a gold color theme in ring attire. So they actually look like they could be a team. Furthermore, with their opponents, Miguel and Owen have an overall dark appearance in common. They look pretty cool. They even have sort of hints of red in them as well. So I think both these pairs look like a team. Match 4. For the 6 Tag Championship of Canada. Just when Shota seems to be redeemed and brought around to a Christian understanding, we have an expansion to Team Satan. As we look at the profile of Warren Watson, the Midnight Knight. So finally, Midnight Knight, yeah! You know that reference? So why does he fit in with Team Satan? Well, Midnight Knight could be a variation on Black Knight, right? Nighttime, dark out. And if we think of a white knight as being holy, by contrast, a midnight knight could be seen as unholy. As you can see, he's American, and I believe this will be the final non-Canadian that I bring into this promotion. There's still a few or even a handful of Canadian wrestlers I plan to add eventually. So we're not done adding, but everyone from this point should be Canadian. So there's the trio, the three-man team. Newly formed three-man version of Team Satan. The General, the Foot Soldier, who's, I have him down low, he's at the foot of the table there. And the Knight, who's high and mighty, so he's higher up. As far as how, you know, see the way you got two guys at the top and one guy stuck on the bottom. So the Foot Soldier at the foot of the table, the Knight is high and mighty, and he's out, you know, Knight outranks Foot Soldier. So, okay, so there they are, and they will face. Oh, before we move on, let's just take a quick glance. So I was worried about Satan's General from last event and how he would endure the critical that he took in his match, his most recent match. And he seems okay. So, tough as nails, Satan's General. And they will challenge Team Canada Blue, Wolf, Omega, Big Mike. Fifth and final championship match as Team Terrible, with Jason wearing his red, hotly anticipating Canada Day next month. Team Terrible, the champions, will be challenged again by the Trick Prince and Strongheart. On Third Time's the Charm grounds, and the match from last event was a 99% match evaluation, so feel like there's multiple reasons to run this match again. And you know, Jin and Strongheart, they're being paid as top contenders. Certainly. Both these guys also are asked for raises. As you can see there, Strongheart now makes $7,800 a month. If that seems astounding, of course, probably doesn't. We already saw Canadian Sensation, but over 12,000. But the Trick Prince, $9,600 a month. These are high salaries, but in theory, we need solid talent to put up against my local Canadians, so don't mind it. Which brings us to the main event. Team Owens, KO Kevin, Mr. Stoic, will be up against Ted Axel, blue hair, forming Pearl Harbor version 2. As we have a US-Japan team up here. I guess I should have been more specific when I mentioned Midnight Knight earlier. He's American. In that case is US. He's a US wrestler. Because it gets kind of confusing because they think of America as a region in this game, which encompasses Canada as well. Whereas when you talk about an individual wrestler being from America, they're from the United States. Anyway, Ted Axel is a US wrestler. Blue hair is Japanese. Pearl Harbor version 2. You get it. You get it. So, maybe this isn't the most enticing main event, but since Kevin Owens is not in championship contention and he's still only C Trust, then maybe a Main event might improve trust to B, finally, B. So that reminds me, could take a, since I mentioned the Midnight Knight, you can look at his profile a little bit. See there, it says country, region, America. They specifically, he's from the United States. And let's see. As you go down the move list there, finishing move, the Phoenix Plex. We've seen some guys do that. So for the Midnight Knight, it's a signature. Diving, rolling, guillotine drop. Diving, rolling, guillotine drop. So I'm guessing that that is either a neck breaker or a leg drop executed from the top rope. So should be pretty spectacular regardless. So look down the right column there, salary. We already seen a low salary in the missing link at 802. The Midnight Knight doesn't ask for much more, 818. But the trade-off for that in this case is trust. You see at the bottom right there, D. So if you thought Kevin Owens was shaky at C, if you look at, remember it's on a letter grade like you're in school, right? So trust D is not very good. So I guess if you're a arrogant pretty boy like Midnight Knight, you're not going to be easy to please. He demands a lot. He thinks he's better than other people, of course. So he fights the King's Road style, but we will, hopefully he's around long enough that we can change him to strong. And popularity in America, B, so reasonably popular. So yeah, that's why I wanted to check him, partly, like largely because of the D trust, because there's another example of a guy who comes in here and he's not instantly happy. He's going to have to be catered to, as I've said before, but you know, he starts off right away getting into a title match, so that should be good enough to show some good faith early. So those are the matches. Let's look at venue. So we're at America Rural Large Hall. So in anticipation of Canada Day next month, we are running right now another big venue event, looking for the largest crowd possible, just to give us momentum going into the next, to feel like we've got a lot of momentum and hype going into the next event. If I were to cram this event down into the urban medium $15,000 setting, we might actually make more profit. I'm not sure about that, but it probably wouldn't be much more because, as I've mentioned before, with a larger crowd, we can sell more merchandise. And that's what we intend to do. You see in the top right there, audience forecast 29,880. So we're pressing very nearly up against the capacity. So we've rammed the place. Rural setting, rural setting. Supposed to be good for improving the popularity of our promotion, so sounds good. So this means we're going to go heavy on the merchandise production. So confirm match card. So we go over to management. Produce merchandise. So it would be a shame to throw out photo collection 1,600. I mean, we got to think about we paid for this too, and yeah, I think I'll keep that. That seems like an incredible waste. But towel and goods, by stark contrast, we are going to load up on these. As we've seen before, goods sell very well at only $12 ticket price. Not ticket price, but merch price, let's say. So since we're playing in front of nearly 30,000 this event, and the tournament next month almost guarantees to also be a big event, I feel pretty confident we can pull the trigger on 10,000 goods. So we expect to sell quite a lot this month and next month. So it doesn't seem like too big of a risk to take. These things should sell. So 10,000 goods. 30,000 some odd to make with the discount in place from Jumbo Mart. 10,000 towels. I find they have sold noticeably better than Photo Collection. So I think I'm gonna just go big here because, you know, we're gonna be, like I say, we're gonna be at this larger venue at least 2 months in a row. So I feel pretty good about cranking out 10,000 towels as well. Whew, sounds like a big commitment. But I feel like towel sales are good enough. I think we can do this. Might as well think big as we head toward the Canada Day Spectacular. So 10,000 with the, again, sponsor discount. 10,000, 38,000 to make these things. Go. Pretty cool. So we've spent a lot. Our expense is over 400,000, but we plan to draw a lot in revenue, so should be okay. So feel like we have, looks like just one more small thing to do here. As you've grown to maybe expect by now, we're going to take a look at view title belts. Okay. Canada's Tag Team Championship. Make our way down the list. Wolf Hockfield has been a champion with Kenny Omega. Kenny has been also the captain of the championship team before dropping it to Team Satan, two-man group at that time. And then Team Terrible went on a 7 defense reign before dropping it to Team Big. Big Titan, Big Mike. But Team Terrible promptly, the first opportunity at least, a couple months went by I think, but the first opportunity, Team Terrible won the title back. And looky here, 7 wins again. 7 title defenses. Which means that Team Terrible aims to set a new record for defenses in a single reign with 8, which would be the greatest of any Canada title reign. So there you go. I believe we are ready to start. June of year 3. Match 1 for Dramatic Fight Wrestling's Tag Team Championship. Introducing first the challengers. So the first man out is the final wrestler, by his old nickname, Matt Gibson. Precedes the missing link, Parts Unknown / Canada, Team Green. And they're facing the 2 Canadian members of Sharpshooter Syndicate. I feel like they're settling in quite nicely to this championship. The the Canadian sensation, the excellence of execution, DFW Tag Team Champions. And an old school matchup, old WWF days. The missing link still searching for his first championship here in the Canada Wrestling Promotion. Eats an arm drag takedown, speaking of old school. Falling headbutt. More clubbing blows, stomp to the spine. Elbow to the spine, stomp to the leg. Huh. Okay, Bret Hart has decided, okay, I'm getting my ass kicked in here. Let's get out of here. Too much bullying tactics. Give the Sensation a shot. Sensational. Double suplex. Out of the ring. But Sensation very politely allowing his opponent to recover. Body slam into the championship corner. Sensational sleeper hold. Sensational snap suplex. So we're in the blue corner, or rather the green corner. Oh, bullying tactics in the corner. Both members of Team Green active. And now we'll see an assisted powerbomb from Sharpshooter Syndicate. Some more classics there out of the Hitman. Drop toe hold. Eats a body slam and an elbow drop to the face, however. Pretty spectacular roll up there, but in the ropes. And early. So we almost saw yet another double team by Sharpshooter Syndicate. They worked well. Bret Hart has got a chair. Last time we saw Bret Hart with a chair in hand, he was getting disqualified in his bid to become Canada's heavyweight champion when he challenged the Baron Charles. And the Baron Charles is back to being a champion. He'll be coming up next. As the second half of Dramatic Fight Wrestling will play out. Just an outright chokehold the referee demonstrates. It's not approved of. Starts the disqualification count. We see it again. Well, he did break the hold, so he's just back to it, that's all. Exchange of strikes, the Sensation was being knocked back, but ultimately he wins that exchange. Look like a shoot attempt by the missing link. He eats reverse atomic drop. Looks like he's going to the top rope. So no excellence of execution from the turnbuckle. Nope, 2 count by the champions. Another chokehold, but the Sensation decided he's seen enough of that choking nonsense. Saves Bret Hart from some of that discomfort. Huh. 2 and change there before the save made. Team Green survives. Crossface. Armbar submission. So quite a lot of long-range rescuing needing to be done by Team Green. That's probably a bad sign. Short clothesline. Clubbing blows. Team Green working in combination right now. Yeah, interesting series of strikes exchanged. Dragon screw leg whip. Oh, Tombstone pile driver across the Lit Cola main sponsor logo. Sensational snap suplex. And it better be pretty sensational. He's certainly being paid a sensational amount. As we just saw in the intro. Swinging neckbreaker. Very excellently executed. Now we're deep into the challenger corner. Wrong part of town for Bret Hart, and he eats the headbutt down low. All right. More teamwork, I think, displayed overall by Sharpshooter Syndicate. Superfly headbutt. Arrogant cover. Ace Matt Gibson wasn't able to get there in time. Missing Link had to defend for himself. 2.9 count. Dragon screw leg whip. Missing Link is going to those headbutts though. That repeated headbutt. And following up. Series of falling headbutts. Wow. But the Canadian sensation follows up with a sensational tombstone. He'll go to the sharpshooter. Sharpshooter middle of the ring. Bret Hart comes in, try to make the intercept, but no fails. Ace Matt Gibson is able to rescue his partner. The sensation calling for the finish. Oof. Stepping palm strike. But he eats a jawbreaker. Now he's discombobulated. The Missing Link is going to follow up. Attempts the shoulder block. Now we'll get all 4 men in the ring. This match has passed 15 minutes. Short clothesline there. When Bret Hart grabbed the legs of Matt Gibson, I was hoping for the sharpshooter again. Swinging neckbreaker. Sharpshooters in stereo, perhaps. Flying elbow misses, and the Boston Crab in the counter. Side Russian leg sweep. Vertical suplex into the challenger corner again. Oh, Ace responds with a side Russian leg sweep of his own. Rotating brainbuster look like, wow. Now, Bret Hart's getting beaten up now. Oof, another one of those brainbusters. Goes for the pin. The sensation is in there promptly to rescue Matt Gibson. I don't know if the Missing Link just is too crazy to understand how tag team action works. That there might have been a title change there. If the Missing Link had just been on the ball to get in there to try to intercept the breakup on the pin. Flies with the shoulder tackle. eats only air as Bret Hart gets the heck out of there and gets tagged out. Interesting striking back and forth here. Turnbuckle, flying elbow. We reached the 19-minute mark now. Oof, another tombstone. That's using your head. The missing link doesn't mind using his head. Superfly, headbutt. Might have taken as much out of himself as his opponent, however. Back to those trademark headbutts that the missing link is known for.
20 minutes gone.
And he'll fly. Do a flying headbutt of his own. He'll go for a cover, but the Hitman is right there to make the breakup. Seems like that's what this match was probably going to come down to. Either a submission attempt or a pinfall attempt that's deep in one's own corner. Brainbuster. Once he was at the legs there, again, I was hoping for the sharpshooter. I thought maybe you might have seen a sensational sharpshooter. Back body drop, old school. The save is made again. How many times were we that close to a result, only to have the tag partner rescue the vulnerable? Snap. Suplex from Sharpshooter Syndicate member Bret Hart. Jawbreaker, he's stunned. The missing link takes this opportunity to get tagged out. Running clothesline. The Ace appeals to the crowd. Don't know if we get a lot of people cheering for him to beat down a Canadian legend, but he does land the, what was that, the half Nelson suplex. Oof, Elgin bomb. Big Mike's trademark, but we're in the ropes and Bret Hart is going to escape. Wow. Double team on the vertical suplex out of the ring, and Bret Hart has gone out in pursuit. So has the Sensation. I guess things have gotten a bit serious. They're already benefiting from 2 against 1 advantage out there. Double vertical suplex. There's that stepping palm. Strike again and again. Wow, just brutalizing him with it. 2.9. I was about to say the missing link is standing idly by while their title aspirations slip away, but to the Ace's credit, he showed the resilience necessary to keep this match going. Superfly splash. Victory roll, but just in the challenger corner. Probably is not going to work. Snap. Suplex. Sidewalk. Slam. Tombstone. Piledriver again. How many times has the Sensation gone to that move? But the no-sell. I guess the hard head of the missing link. He does use it as a weapon after all. Allows him to jump back up. Assisted powerbomb. Kind of feel like, yeah, more double teaming. The great majority of the double team moves have been inflicted by Sharpshooter Syndicate. Have to figure that's got to give them an advantage. They're really more of a true team. Paul, Mr. Wonderful style. Pile driver. Somehow the Canadian Sensation fails to make the save. Or intercept the, make the interception off the save attempt by Matt Gibson. You saw it. Man. Seems like both teams have had opportunities to win, but for whatever reason, the match just wears on and on. I do sort of feel like it's going to come down to a submission attempt. Because if someone's ready to go, you might just tap out before any save is possible. Vertical suplex into the brain buster,
2,
out of the ring.
3,
The ace is wavering, and the sensation's out to follow up. Tombstone piledriver onto the floor.
9,
Flings the ace into the apron,
11,
and then the guardwall too. Wow.
13, 14, 15,
The ace escapes the count-out predicament. Oof. Power bomb into the turnbuckle. Seems to me there's a name for that. I can't think of what it is. Short. Clothesline. The sensation
minutes gone.
gets the heck out of there as we reach the half-hour mark. Wow. It's that rotating power bomb again. Sit down. But again in the ropes. Seems like it's always the way. Reverse. Atomic drop. Running elbow drop. Once again, that Mr. Wonderful pile driver. Looks like it could absolutely kill somebody. But still no finish. Flying, running battering ram attempt by the missing link, but there's, just like with the missing links mentality, there was really nobody home there. The choke is broken up, and while the sensation's calling for the finish, he gets kicked in the head. Now the ace again appealing to the crowd. And why shouldn't they be cheering? It's been a long, dramatic match. For these DFW tag titles. Seemed like time and again we could have had a finish. Tossed out of the ring is the sensation.
4,
Oof. Chaos, collisions, cutthroats. Apparently, as the sensation takes to the turnbuckle again, flying elbow. Again, to the spine. Repeated headbutts. Choke again. Maybe it's time to disqualify the missing link. Seems like he's gone to that choke more times than is reasonable. Sensational. Snap. Suplex. He's calling for the finish again. Oh, looked like he might have been going for the sharpshooter. Oh, second time. Will second time be the charm? Yes, fittingly, the sharpshooter gets the finish and the victory for Sharpshooter Syndicate. The missing link very resiliently kicked him off the first time, but just didn't have enough left in the tank to really resist another try. %96 match evaluation, 35 minutes. And sad for the missing link, he's still searching for his first title, his first championship here in Canada. But it was a long, dramatic match. And the all-Canadian team outlasts in the end. And they remain Dramatic Fight Wrestling Tag Team Champions. Match 2. The Canadian Vampire challenges the Baron Charles. So this is match 2 of the event, and also match 2 in the Canadian wrestling promotion tenure of Vampiro. He challenged for the DFW Tag Team Championship last event. Now he'll try his undead hands at the heavyweight version of the DFW titles. But he'll have to overcome this man, the Baron Charles. My apologies to the Baronial faithful if I didn't linger very long in the intro on his profile, because the title belt will be there to see. Looks cool. Try to do better next time. Clubbing blow. Baron Charles is going for that disqualification inducement pretty early. Never too early to start in on the mind games, though. It might at the very least get Vampiro off his game by all of a sudden having a chair in his hands. I mean, what the heck? Seriously? So there it is again, the chair. But Vampiro seems wise to it. Gets rid of the chair before the referee starts to really give this some thought. Did Vampiro just use a chair? So as we get close to the Canada Day Spectacular, will this Canadian, known as Vampiro, go in there with the championship? Tilt-a-whirl slam there. Running shoulder block, the big shoulder of the Baron. So mounted strikes there, mounted close fists. Referee does not approve. Double arm, sit down, powerbomb. 2 count. Pretty early for a 2 count. Pile driver, forward pile driver. Body slam across the Lit-Cola main sponsor logo. Ooh, Frankensteiner. That's fitting, because I don't know if Frankenstein is considered an undead. He would seem to be. Impaler. DDT. From the Boston Crab. And why not use the Impaler DDT as a vampire? As in Vlad the Impaler?
5 minutes gone.
Like, wasn't he rumored to be possibly a vampire? Should look it up.
1, 2.
It's not that important. Oh, then maybe it is. Depending on how much of an enthusiast you are for that. Anyway, Superfly Splash or headbutt. Probably a headbutt. Because if it was a splash, it would have gone into a pin combination there. So using the head again, standing headbutt. Yeah, I guess it's probably a headbutt. Back to what I mentioned when we first introduced Vampiro last event. A lot of his early repertoire was headbutts, and there's a headbutt for you. Pretty cool looking rock bottom type move there. The suplex looks like some sort of rock bottom slam. I don't know what you call that. Anyway,
1, 2.
Wow! Moonsault off the second rope, beginning from the inside,
7,
attacking the champion down on the floor.
9,
Oh, he's got a barbed wire baseball bat. Ooh, goes down to the midsection with it.
3,
Oh,
4.
not really using the barbed wire particularly off that bat, but using more the butt of the bat against the Baron, beating him with it. A lot of B words. Another Impaler DDT. And the top rope on a dazed champion, flying body press.
2, 3.
From the top rope, 3 count. And you know, some cheating in there. Make no mistake, he used a foreign object. Maybe the ref didn't see it. I don't know. He just kind of looked the other way on that. Controversy there. Unless you want to make a case that the use of the bat was so subtle, but what else would the referee have been looking at? It seemed as though the Baron Charles has been outright screwed. Seems like we could make a case for a rematch here, can we not? In any case. Okay. Vampiro, the Canadian. It may not be a Canadian championship, but he has won a championship here in Canada. So congratulations to him, and he'll go into Canada Day, the Canadian, as a champion. And the Baron will have to figure out when he gets some sort of rematch or justice or something on this. But clearly, there's an asterisk here, and there needs to be some continuation here. I think we can safely say. But in the meantime, we have a new DFW heavyweight champion. Match 3. Finally, to crown the first Junior Tag Team Champions of Canada. There's only one actual Canadian in this match, Christian, fresh from having defeated his now partner for Canada's Junior Championship. Is this the most unlikely duel? The most heated and hated rivalry of this promotion? But it would seem Shota, the Irredeemable, has actually been redeemed. We shall see, time will tell. Versus 2 men whose paths have not crossed. We see Big Man Complex finally gets his first taste of junior action. He'd only fought in heavyweight so far. Eye raking to get the match started. Some dirty tactics right out of the gate for Mexico Miguel. Dragon screw leg whip. As we know, as vile as Shota seems to be, Mexico Miguel doesn't mind cheating. He'll eye rake, he'll use brass knuckles. Big Man gets knocked off the apron from that Irish whip as he awaits his turn in the ring. Back suplex applied by the Canadian DDT as Mexico Miguel spills across the Lit Cola main sponsor logo. Shota is in there. Shota and Miguel, long history between these two. Before Christian ever showed up in the promotion. Eye poke through the eye holes of the mask, and the discombobulated Miguel gets tagged out. Eats a jab, however. And the martial arts striking of Shota beats down the red corner members. Big Man getting some moves in there. Powerful clothesline. Backbreaker into a body slam. See what I mean? He thinks he's big. He doesn't mind using power moves. Body slam. Sits on the guy. Another move that you wouldn't think you'd use unless you had a lot of weight to pin the man down. Press slam. Awesome power on display for a junior. Sits on his face, as much adding insult as anything, as truly trying to get the win. Attempts some clubbing blows there, but now he's on the receiving end of a double team. Christian and Shota working for the first time as a duo. Teaming up. Test of striking ultimately won by Big Man Complex. And I think he's made his point. He gets tagged in. Arm twisting action. And you see Christian and Mexico Miguel, and you'd think that Miguel would like to get this win a lot as he eats a DDT, because he's had trouble with Christian. He's yet to get a win against Christian, and eats a dragon screw leg whip on top of that. So now would be a good time for Miguel to finally get it done against Christian with the championship on the line. And then, you know, one of those two men will have their name in the record book as the inaugural, original junior tag team championship leader. And if Miguel can get it done, his name would be the first on the list for both juniors, both junior titles, because he was the original junior singles. If you can be the original junior tag, he's got quite the resume of bragging rights. Big haymaker right hand. Knocks Type B senseless, but not for long. Oh, he eats the fan of flame. He's busy attacking the man, Christian. And Shota came up. Lights him on fire. And Type B hasn't been right since. He finally gets a clubbing blow in there just to get the heck out of the ring and try to recover from that. He's lit on fire for the love of... Anyway, football charge. Knocks Christian down as he's in disarray in the red corner, but escaping it now, bringing things back to the middle. And now we reversed. We're now into the other corner, the blue corner. Christian was wearing his blue when he won the junior championship off of Shota finally. You'd think Shota would very much like to deprive Mexico Miguel of the honor of having his name at the top of both championship histories. Because it was Shota who was deprived of having his name be the first ever Canada Junior Champion. Christian makes the save, so quite content to not stand by and let his old bitter rival suffer there. Type B makes the save of his own. DDT, though, he eats. Across the lit lightning bolt. Well, there's the sickle in action. And we've got blood. Shota sickle has drawn blood. I don't know if Owen is so eager to get back in the ring after that. He's probably glad to be out of there. He's probably busy thinking, I gotta assess my injury here. Now he's in the action. Impaler. DDT by Christian. Oh, DDT for Big Man Complex as well. Stereo DDTs. There's enough DDTs to go around. Drop kick. But now, Big Man Complex reasserts himself. The press slam. Oh, it's the military press, right? Instead of military press, he's Owen Miller. Military press? Yeah. I'll think about it. Back suplex, blood is collecting on the red half of the ring here. Flying. Clothesline. 12 and a half minutes before I even noticed the clock. It's been a spirited, exciting match. Jawbreaker. Big man boots his way out of trouble. Back body drop, and what is he signaling? That he's going to break his man? Props him up for Mexico Miguel. Maybe they might be trying some double team action. Oh, biting. Type B was able to stay in there long enough to make the save, but he eats a DDT in his corner for the trouble. As Christian tracks him down and says, "You got to pay for that." So big man complex in there to save Miguel from that flurry of strikes. Eats a jawbreaker for his trouble. And now Shota will get to pound with impunity. Mexico Miguel had to get out under his own accord, and now both members of, I guess, Team Dark are bloodied. Confusion there as three men wrestle at the same time. Ankle lock, submission attempt. Big man complex in there to make the save and executing another crowd-pleasing military press slam. It's a little cumbersome. Shota tries to uncork fire again. Mexico Miguel has faced Shota many times and I guess knows to look out for that. Whereas Big Man Complex is new to Shota. And he ate the fire early on. So he's been lit on fire and bloodied. Welcome to Shotaville, Owen Miller. What if he's wishing he's back fighting the heavyweights again? Owen just handling both members of, I guess, Team Gold. Team Gold and Team Dark. I think that's fair. Big man complex leaving more blood behind. He's scraped up off the mat. Back elbows though. Clothesline from the back. From the rear. We approach 18 minutes. Clubbing blows. You think of larger wrestlers from back in the day who would use moves like that, just smashing blows, like when you're clubbing down on someone who's probably smaller than you. So Christian into that Texas cloverleaf escapes, and perhaps that was too close for comfort. He gets tagged out. Flying clothesline. Sickle going to work by Shota. Perhaps Miguel was able to avoid a lot of that damage with his mask protecting him. Oh, and Type B is unable to make the save. And Miguel had to eat all that damage. Spinning sidekick there. Flurry of blows beating Miguel down. He's got him in that torture grind submission. Big man complex in there to make the save, but now he's got to deal with Christian. Arm twisting action. Sets up the torture grind again. Miguel is laying in a pool of probably a combination of his blood and his partner's. Both blue corner members just staining the ring. Brass knuckles getting to be desperation time, perhaps. Mexico Miguel pulling out all the stops, as it were. Combination striking from Shota. Downs. Big man complex into another variety of the ankle lock. Christian cuts off the help there. 3 out of 4 men laying on the ring. All 4 men in the ring. Wild action. Big man complex wavering, but content to stay in the ring. Booting down the blue corner members. Shota goes behind on some sort of reversal. Pulls his man down into the crossface submission. But he was not the legal man, so there was no check for it. Oh, look at that. Belly to belly suplex off the Irish whip. Christian lands the Impaler DDT. Now he's in the corner. King Kong Bundy style avalanche attempted. Frog splash. Too bad it wasn't in the blue corner. That almost certainly would have been a finish. All 4 men fighting. Wild action. Hard to call, but a body slam was in there somewhere. Standard DDT. Got to make that distinction with Christian. He's got more than one variety. Tags in Shota. Flying clothesline. Going to work again with the sickle. Apparently not enough blood's been drawn for Shota's liking. Frankensteiner. Flurry of blows, beat down. Blood left behind. No big surprise there. The torture grind again. Christian's in there to cut off big man complex. Still no submission. Vertical suplex. Mexico Miguel bringing the action back to the red side of the ring where it's safer. Desperation takedown by Mexico Miguel to prolong this match. Martial arts striking by Shota. Owen Miller calling for the conclusion there. Clothesline. Sits his man down. Straight to the face. 27 minutes. Wow. Well, they're making it memorable, that's for sure. Double dropkick. As Christian and Shota work together. More scything. There's always room for more blood to be drawn. Backslide, but we're in the ropes. No count. Counter arm drag takedown. Flying clothesline. Blood everywhere. Blood just all over the mat where they stand. Clothesline just turning Christian inside out, flopping around like a fish out of water. Vertical suplex out of the ring. The match just rages on. DDT on the Mexico Miguel. Christian tossed out of the ring. Big man complex goes out in pursuit. Shota's coming out to help his buddy, his newly made buddy. Shota's doing cartwheels in the ring. Maybe delirium setting in from just how long this match has gone.
13, 14.
Bizarre time to do some exercises. Death Valley driver uncorked. Big man complex. Those two are the legal men. Missing with the clothesline. We'll get all 4 men in there. Why not? Might as well. Backbreaker. Body slam. Jawbreaker. This has been a war. This has been half an hour and an outright war. flurry of knee strikes. More scything, more blood. Why not? Why wouldn't you do that? Surprise roll up, but we're in the ropes. No count. DDT in the middle of the ring, but they're not the legal combination anyway. Beat down, body blows. The torture grind near the ropes, but we'll still check for a submission. Still no. Still no. Oh, big man complex from the apron has gotten a hold of Shota. Some confusion over there. Miguel can't capitalize. Shota escapes, and now flurry of blows, beat down. Just, oh, jeez. Combination striking to the back of the head. That was vicious. There it is again. Good Lord. Yeah. Shota and Christian might be formed some sort of tentative friendship. But Shota and Miguel, no, they're not friends. Wow, Frankensteiner from the top rope, setting up his man perhaps. Christian wavering though, but he counters the arm drag takedown. Will this match end? Can it end? There's that backbreaker body slam combo. Jawbreaker, perhaps a desperation Christian. Eats some elbows. Wow. Running splash by the junior. By the junior. Owen Miller. Was it that vertical suplex into some sort of diamond cutter? All four men in the ring. Are we going to get some sort of finish amidst this confusion? Ankle lock, submission applied. And we finally have the finish. Ankle lock cinched in, nowhere to go for Mexico Miguel. Blood collecting around his head. Not surprisingly, sooner or later someone has to have had enough. 35 minutes. An absolutely wild, insane fight. Blood everywhere. Long. Seemingly the finish could have come at any time, but the match just carried on and on and on. We have our first ever junior tag team champions of Canada. The unlikely duo, Christian and the now redeemed Shota. Match 4, which is for Canada's 6-Tag Championship. Making their debut as a trio. Team Satan. So the general has added some nobility, if you will, or ignobility, depending on how you want to perceive it. There he is on the right. The Midnight Knight. Midnight Knight, yeah. And this is a fitting team for them to face, I think, because when Team Satan first arrived in Canada, which might have been exactly 2 years ago, I think, June, what tag team stood up against the rise of evil? The incursion of the devil? Well, it was Team Canada Blue, Wolf Hockfield, Kenny Omega.
Fight.
So fittingly, The three-man debut of Team Satan should be against the three-man iteration of Team Canada Blue. And the Wolf, showing off his size there, bowling over the General. Goes into that armbar, now a body slam. Elbow drop across the painted face of Satan's General. European uppercut. It's all Wolf so far. He's a one-man Wolf pack right now. It must seem like the General's up against an army. Gets an eye rake in there trying to break up that momentum. Then he might get his back broken by a vertical suplex. Omega's in the ring. And it's a forearm. Half crab. So the Wolf turns into a crab briefly there. And the General says, we got to regroup. Well, I've been getting my ass kicked too. Back body drop on the counter. Kenny with the counter. But now he's got to deal with the size and the strength and the power of the foot soldier. Will Stewart. Lands a knee kick. But Omega spiritedly fighting back as they mix it up across the Lit Cola main sponsor logo. Deadlift German suplex, no sell by Omega. He gets right up and chops, buying himself a window there. He wishes to tag in. Spinning back fist by Big Mike to break up that assault on his partner Omega. But now, two-man assault as we see our first look at Midnight Knight. Knight and Foot Soldier teaming up with a double drop kick there. Running shoulder floors the bigger man. But it was a knightly charge, was it not? It was almost as though he was on horseback. That's how much momentum and ferocity he brought to that attack. And Big Mike is flung toward the blue corner. He does wear blue, so maybe he feels okay there. Delayed vertical suplex out of the ring. The strength and the patience of Big Mike. And he goes for a big boot and eats a clothesline in return. The Knight is looking rather effective so far. Eats a body slam, arrogant cover there. And who would know more about arrogance than a knight? You'd think, anyway. It depends, I suppose. If you're taught to be humble, perhaps, as a knightly virtue, by the same token, as a member of the nobility, a knight might very well look down his nose at common classes. He eats a kick high, though. He's not looking so high and mighty on his back. The two big men from Team Canada Blue team up against the big man from Team Satan to execute. Double vertical suplex out of the ring. And we have a brawl behind the red corner here. Eye rake applied by Omega. Probably a good idea to discombobulate the bigger man. Runs him in to the side of the ring. Super kick to the back. Finally, Team Satan decides enough is enough. They've entered the ring in force. And they're getting beaten up. Assisted powerbomb in the ring. Press slam into a outside of the ring. Anyway, Will Stewart's got a baseball bat, and he whacks Wolf Hockfield across the abdomen. Not cool, dude. But the Wolf is bullying him into the championship corner, rides him down from the top rope with a knee. 2.9. That close to Team Canada Blue already retaining. 3-on-1, hard for the Wolf to cope with all that pressure. As Team Satan was full-on invading the championship corner. Irish whip, but the Wolf has momentum. Body slam from one big man to another. And Will Stewart has had enough. He needs a rest. 4 men in the ring here. Team up on the knee smash to the face. Will Stewart in there to make the save. saving the general, rescuing his commanding officer. And it was needed. You see the full Nelson slam as Team Canada Blue. This looks very good. Omega says it's over. The general beats him in the face with an elbow and escapes, suggesting maybe it's far from over. 10 minutes, knee to the face, painted face. Midnight Knight responds with a punch to Omega's face. Retaliation. Oh, it looked like the Midnight Knight might have been going for some sort of maybe a Boston Crab or something there. But the Wolf rescues his old pal, Omega. Eats a clothesline there, however. Ooh, one-man gang slam onto the baseball bat. That might be the rolling guillotine drop we saw in the Midnight Knight's profile. That top rope, flipping leg drop, rolling guillotine. Try to remember that. It's cool. And the dazed Midnight Knight gets discus struck by Big Mike, taking advantage of the vulnerable opponent there. Let's see a battle of the big men here. Assisted. Powerbomb. Punch to the back of the head. Not very nice. But it is a villain team. Team Satan. Not surprisingly. And Will Stewart posing down with his impressive physique. Now he's on the Tree of Woe as the perhaps even bigger Big Mike lays some boots in there. Widow's Peak, I think that's called. Cover. And he is covered deep in the corner of Team Satan 2.9. Wild action with multiple participants in the ring. Tombstone, pile driver. And the giant swing. This would be a submission, but we're tied up in the ropes. And now stuffed in to the championship corner. The foot soldier's getting beaten down with fittingly a foot. Omega working that foot choke in there. Running knee to the face. Well, holding the foot soldier. No tag, by the way. Big Mike just climbs in there illegally. Press slam. Some power on display. And he prudently gets out of there. Does the foot soldier. Defers to the higher ranked knight.
You can't escape.
Who can't escape that fireman's carry roll. Hooks him for the pinfall attempt, but he's on the side of Satan. Save was pretty much inevitable. Wild action, all six men. How do you keep track? There's a giant swing again. Omega, dizzy, wisely gets out of there, tags in the Wolf, executes the super kick. He's softening him up for his original tag team partner. Clothesline from behind. Wolf Hockfield just wipes him out. High kick. Do you remember in the early going, Wolf Hockfield never landed the high kick? He has figured out over time how to get that move in effectively. It seems like he lands it more often than not. A giant swing, 6 men in the ring again. Just a crazy gang war. And the Wolf overpowers Midnight Knight. Gets the reversal and the vertical suplex out of the ring. Big Mike is out in pursuit. So is Omega. We have 2-on-1s going on in both inside and outside the ring. Just loony. This is insane. Insane action. If you know who the legal man is, leave it in the comments, because I don't know.
11, 12, 13,
We're up to a 13 count.
15,
One winged angel, I believe that's called.
17,
Executed outside the ring. And Omega was beckoning the Knight to get back in there. Kenny wasn't just going for a cheap count out. He said, come on back and we'll keep doing this. Just a loony brawl going on inside the ring, outside the ring. Assisted powerbomb, double team. 4 men in the ring right now. Clothesline. The Wolf just flattens Midnight Knight. Running forearm smash, however. Wow. Reversal on the Frankensteiner. Not reversal, but what do you call that? I'll work on it. Anyway, Satan's General tossed out of the ring. 3 members of Team Canada Blue out there. Big Mike clapping to the crowd, looking for some support. Meanwhile, Will Stewart has got a baseball bat in the ring. Midnight Knight floors Kenny with a clothesline. Oh, there was the baseball bat over the back of the head. Good Lord. The ref's back was turned. That absolutely should have been a disqualification, possibly legal action. There should have been criminal charges filed on that. That was horrific. Could absolutely kill somebody with that. Baseball bats begin to accumulate in the ring. This is nuts. Victory roll. Omega's promptly in there. Not necessarily. The Wolf powers his way out only at 2. We've seen more than one 2.9, have we not? We've seen one for each side. And the Wolf bides his time, lands that vicious high kick. Tags. I don't know if he's the fresh man. I don't know if anyone's fresh anymore. The Wolf just battering down members of Team Satan. 2-on-2 in the ring at the same time right now. And the 2 blonde men are legal. There's that full Nelson suplex again. I think it might be called the Dragon suplex. I'm not sure what makes it dragon, but I think I've seen it called that recently. Anyway, discus elbow it looked like, as Wolf Hockfield exploits the dazed. Oh, well, how about that? Fireman's carry into a diamond cutter, but too close to the middle. Certainly slightly on the championship side. Save was inevitable. 6 men in the ring again. It's just a wild, crazy fight we have. The Wolf is tossed out of the ring. Big Mike comes in there looking for some payback. Press slam. Press power slam. Devastation wrought by Big Mike. Exploder. Suplex off the Irish Whip. Tags in Big Mike. Scrapes the Midnight Knight off the canvas. But he's game. He's executing. He tried to execute the Phoenix Plex, but Wolf hung in there long enough. He was non-legal, but I guess he had fleeting moments in there before he had to get out of the ring. Big Mike attempts the spinning back fist more than once. He's in the wrong part of town now. He's flailing away. And Team Satan is starting to corral him. Oh! But there's the Elgin Bomb, his own trademark, but we're deep in the satanic corner where help immediately springs in there. And we got a bunch of guys fighting. There's the Falcon Arrow. And we have a 3 count amidst all that chaos. Come on, says Big Mike. Are you not entertained, Canada? What an insane fight. That might have been the greatest 6-man tag match we've ever had. Just awesome the whole way. I didn't even notice the time. We went over 25 minutes. Crowd cheers resoundingly for the Canadian boys. Team Canada Blue has staved off this new and improved, this augmented force of Team Satan. But Team Canada Blue, they are the best 3-man team. They outlasted Jin Dynasty in that long rivalry. Now they fended off Team Satan, and Team Canada Blue will go into Canada Day. Next event, the Canada Day Spectacular version 3, where we will have the 6-man tag tournament. Team Canada Blue will go into that epic event holding the titles. Will they leave with them? We'll have to wait and see, but of chief importance, I don't think 84% does that match justice. That was insane. That should have been more like 94. But, you know, whatevs. What matters? Team Canada Blue, still your 6 tag champions. What a match. Match 5. Not just for Canada's Tag Team Championship, but for history. We mentioned at the end of the intro, Team Terrible to set a new record, not just for defenses in a single reign, but defenses for a single reign in any Canadian championship. They're going for 8. And they'll face a team that took them to a 99% match evaluation. The Trick Prince and Strongheart. Will third time be the charm for the Trick Prince to foil aspirations of Team Terrible? Early neck crank would have been a 24-second finish if the strength of the bear had been too much. That would have been a record. As Jason the Terrible looks on from the apron wearing his Canada red, looking very forward to next month when it'll be the Canada Day Spectacular version 3. I don't know if the significance is lost on the wrestling bear. I don't know how patriotic he is. I don't know if he understands countries. Probably not. But Jason, despite being a psychopath, certainly able to understand the significance of these two. Looking ahead, what will Canada Day be like for the Trick Prince? When he has formed three-man team in the past, it's been denoted as Jin Dynasty. Will we see the Trick Prince in that tournament? And what will that team look like if he is there? Will the Trick Prince go into Canada Day as the new Canadian Tag Team Championship captain? Double clothesline, by the way, just now, as Team Terrible does its terrible work as a team. Some sort of bow and arrow style submission, I believe. Will we see Team Terrible in the 6-tag tournament? What we did see was an eye rake just now. Eye rake. Seems like Jason shouldn't be allowed to eye rake because he's basically immune to being raked. That hockey mask. Yeah, so this is a...
5 minutes gone.
We've seen these two teams in 2-on-2 action quite a bit. Will we see them next month? Will they find thirds? In any case, those repeated knee strikes to the mask, I think Jason benefited, wow, from the armor of the hockey mask. In any case, Dueling shoots there, shoot takedowns. Trick Prince ended up looking good. Now he's cinching in the armbar from the underside. Trip, takedown. Terrible Ted. Into that armbar again. I don't know. Does Trick Prince, he's a strong guy, clearly. But is he strong enough to make the bear say I quit? I think we might have mentioned this before. Does Terrible Ted even have a concept of submission? Does he even know to say something or gesture that he's conceding? Never seen it. Frankly, don't expect to see it. It might take someone to actually beat down the wrestling bear, which seems crazy to even say that out loud. It is a bear. Clubbing blow, double axe handle. 8 minutes in. A bit of a sedated affair, perhaps not a wild, insane brawl like the previous match was. We got that guillotine choke. Wrestling Bear is not currently legal man in the ring, so we will not see a check for submission there. Deep in the championship corner, but the dragon screw leg whip at Strongheart. Well, had a chance to escape. Decided to hang around and engage. Maybe not the best plan. Maybe he should have got out of there while he could. Some sort of chin lock, Boston camel clutch style. Chin lock submission. Well. Now there's something you don't see every time Team Terrible takes to the ring. Normally it's the Wrestling Bear Terrible Ted who cinches in the submission. This time Jason gets a nice little feather in his cap. Well, I think he deserved it. Look at how patriotic he's being with the red. Red and white. He's got the Canada flag colors going. To get this Canadian crowd in the spirit, get them anticipating next month's grand event. Again, will Team Terrible be participating? I think, we've seen one or both of them branch off into form other tag teams. I think Terrible Ted is tagged at least once elsewhere with other wrestlers, but neither of these guys have participated in any kind of three-man group. So tune in for next month to see that. But don't go away just yet, because we still have the main event. But this wraps the title matches, at least, for this event. And to the shock of nobody, Team Terrible, they win in convincing fashion. They set the new record for Canada titles of any kind. 8 defenses. And they do it, without really any sense that they were ever in danger. So I think, it third time's the charm, / 3 strikes you're out. This time, the Japanese team of Trick Prince and Strongheart were really, there was no sense that they were in this with any real hope of becoming champions. So perhaps when Team Terrible defends this title again, we probably should find some new opponents. But that'll be a while off. For now, Team Terrible, still Canada's tag team champions, and now record-setting. Match 6. The main event of the 6th month, June of year 3. So a bit of a leave early, beat the traffic match. No title on the line. It's really only being done for the benefit of that man coming up second. KO, Kevin Owens, trying to cultivate his trust level so they can be happier to be here, so I can stop eyeballing it. And I should want him to stay here. I mean, Kevin Owens has been a pretty big star in the wrestling world. Long time. So maybe a main event will make him a little happier to be here. And why not have this be an attraction too? Last men down for the event. Pearl Harbor version 2. US-Japanese combination. Kev and Ted get us started. Arm twist, shoulder smashes. I feel like Kevin Owens has kind of underachieved here, given how big of a star he's been in his career. He's been DFW Dramatic Fight Wrestling Tag Champion, but that's it. He's had opportunities for other tag belts, and I think he's challenged for both Canadian tags in the heavyweight, the 2-man, the 3-man. Yet to hoist any actual Canadian championship gold. So, on one hand, I don't mind his C trust. C is for Canada and championships. Maybe that's his motivation. Win some sort of Canadian title. Hinted a while back when he was in singles action against Wolf Hockfield that could be a contenders match possibly for the Canadian Heavyweight Championship. As we saw, Ted Axel got knocked off the apron amidst the Irish whip. But, you know, both men have settled back into team action. And, so I don't know. Just like Wolf Hockfield has been Canada's heavyweight champion. If you remember, he won the first tournament, the year one tournament, and became Canada's heavyweight champion. I feel like Kevin Owens could potentially be champion as well. Someday. I mean, right now, I don't think that Big Titan has any serious rivalry established right now. He's going to have to give the missing link another shot at some point.
5 minutes.
Big body slam on the big man.
2,
And the $50,000 man
4,
is turning this into a back alley scrap.
6, 7,
A $50,000 street fight now
10, 11,
outside the ring.
12.
Attack the foundation a little bit of the big man. Bad part of town, although Ted Axel should like the blue corner. Wearing blue, of course. And he is right now just handling Team Owens. And then an arrogant cover there. Not very wise by the wise man, although he probably wasn't going to get the 3 anyway. Why rile up your opponent? Well, that's just the way he is. He's one of those arrogant jerk types. Blue hair flailing away. Mr. Stoic with clubbing shots to the, what would it have been, to the chest or the jaw or something. Flying sidekick though by Mr. Stoic. And we'll transition into a test of strikes. Dragon, screw, leg whip. Drop kick down low, taking the big man off his feet. Discus, clothesline, tornado, clothesline. Snap, suplex. I was about to say blue hair is looking good, but then he eats the body slam. Double team coming in here. Assisted powerbomb by Team Owens. Both men flailing around trying to land dramatic strikes. Back. Breaker. 10 minutes gone. Team Pearl Harbor version 2 working together there on the assisted diamond cutter. Locks in the sleeper hold. And an early escape there. Small package. So, we're probably a long ways from the finish actually, based on how brief those submission attempt and pin combinations were. Pin attempts. Don't know why I pluralize those two things. Submission attempt, pin attempt. Together they make a plurality, but they were not individually plural. Anyone leaving early yet? As I flounder on the commentary. Rodeo. Arm breaker into the arm bar. As Kevin Owens, face down, gets a good look at the lit in the main sponsor logo banner there. Across the ring. If it seems like I shout out to Lit Cola more often than is called for, they are paying us $800,000 a month. It's insane. Anyway, there's another assisted diamond cutter into the sharpshooter. If you remember, Blue Hair is a member of Sharpshooter Syndicate. They just have him in three-man teaming lately because the Hitman and the Canadian Sensation are being quite successful holding the dramatic fight wrestling tag titles. Blue Hair perhaps unwisely there trying to power move on Kevin Owens. The big man powers out with the backdrop. Double back suplex.
1, 2.
And Ted Axel wisely gets in the ring early. Drop kick from behind on a dazed opponent. Not the most sportsmanlike thing you'll see.
1, 2.
And Ted Axel not taking any chances on dropping this decision because it is a main event after all. And if you are the $50,000 man, you definitely want the win because you want to get back in to that title contention. I mean, Ted Axel is the only one here who has had heavyweight championship success. Wow, that phone's ringing a long time.
1.
Anyway, yeah. The $50,000 man is a two belt heavyweight champion. So Definitely would like a main event win to remind everyone that he is a top contender here in the Canada Wrestling promotion.
Boom.
So what would we call that? The Axel death drop, followed by missile drop kick. Yeah, just search back in my memory for that $50,000 variety of the death drop, the Axel death drop.
Do it.
Rain, Buster, sleeper hold, 19-minute mark. It wouldn't be the weirdest thing to get a submission at this point. Fireman's carry drop there by Ted Axel. Backbreaker. Wow, how about that? Blue hair sidestepping the avalanche attempt by Mr. Stoic, and then counters with a flying kick.
20 minutes gone.
If you heard that phone ring in the background, normally I'd have the ringer off, but I was expecting a call earlier, and then I forgot to switch it off. In my defense, I don't normally have it on. Not that anyone cares. Thankfully, there wasn't anything too exciting happening at the moment. That stupid ringing. Merely had to reiterate something I was saying just in case it wasn't heard well. We're back to the sharpshooter. Attempt number 2. Gets kicked in a sensitive area, probably. Break that up. Teddy Twister applied. But you know, this main event is pretty important to Team Owens too. Because, wow. Release back suplex. Pretty impressive to do that to such a big man. Kevin Owens going flying through the air. Yeah, if you're Team Owens, you definitely want to get back into consideration for another tag team championship shot. Winning against the first time together team like Pearl Harbor version 2, it wouldn't look great on their resume. Team Pearl Harbor, 2 guys who neither experienced together nor a shared first language. Whereas the Owenses are cousins. Wow. Tilt a whirling on the DDT there. Undaunted Ted Axel executes the dragon screw, and then the, what is it, release German suplex, I guess? Backflip, release German suplex. Both Owens have eaten that move now. Falling fist, however. Clubbing blows the big man. Going for brutality. The frog splash. Smashing down on the back. The $50,000 back. Huh. DDT off the Irish whip. Why not? Rodeo armbreaker. Both members of Pearl Harbor in there at the same time. Sidewalk backbreaker. Running back splash. Oh, but a diamond cutter there to break up that momentum. Power bomb applied by Mr. Stoic. Power bomb in reversal there as a payback. Huh, that's pretty nifty. It looked as though Mr. Stoic sort of countered that power bomb. He ate it, but he took advantage of the situation on the mat to roll the guy up. Huh. Bit of a surprise ending. One of those pin maneuvers was sort of out of the blue. He was the one who was eating a move at the time, but it was a very nice counter by Mr. Stoic. And yeah, case made for Team Owens to get back into tag title contention. So good for them. I don't know if Ted Axel and Blue Hair had real aspirations to stay together or not. This was testing the waters, I guess, for this team, and we may or may not see it again. So, fair enough. There's your main event. 96% match evaluation. A good finish. 86% overall. Not bad. First ever Christian and the newly redeemed Shota. First ever Canada's junior tag team champions. Great success. So, a little more modest income and profit this month over recent times, but still grossed nearly $2.5 million, profited just over $2 million. Anytime you've profited more than $1 million, you can call that a success. What I expect to be a grand success will be next episode, when we will have the 6-tag tournament on Canada Day. The Canada Day Spectacular version 3. What was it? Was it Billy Red Lions who said, "Don't you dare miss it"? I should look that up. Join us next time for the July show.